All right, we'll start with this package. This is from Second Ed, this sort of independent online comic shop that I found some books for a good price, better than eBay actually. I don't quite love how they sent me the comics though. It feels like not a lot of protection, so we'll see how this is on the inside. All right, they went with the cheap cardboard over here that is obviously not acid-free. All right, here we go. We got some furry comics. We have Usagi Yojimbo number 16. This is published by Mirage Comics in 1995. This is volume 2, the final issue of the Usagi Yojimbo series. First started off at Fantagraphics, and then went over to Mirage, the same publisher that published the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It would last 16 issues, and then they moved over to IDW, where it was there for like literally 20 years, 1996 to 2016, 17, around there. And yeah, it's a final issue. Brand new character. What's her name again? Inazuma. She doesn't say her name until the last page of the book. I already had a copy, but it was kind of beat up, and this one's in much more pristine condition. It's kind of an off-model Usagi. Don't love it, but there's all the Tokage, all of the lizards. Kind of a little too swole. But yeah, that's one. All right, then over here, I'm trying to get these copies of Equine the Uncivilized. This is a parody of Conan the Barbarian. And we've got the first appearance of Red Shetland, a parody of Red Sonja in issue number 2. I've already got that, but I'm trying to get the other issues of this series. I believe there's only 6 or 7 issues of this, so it's not too hard to collect issue-wise. However, there's some eBay sellers that are trying to sell some of these comics way more expensively because we've got early appearances of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is from the 80s. And some eBay sellers are saying, the rarest TMNT appearance here. That'll be $900, sir. Well, not that expensive, but way more expensive than I would like. These, I got them, not exactly cover price, but very close to cover price. Just a few dollars off cover price. And I'm very happy with that because, again, especially these equine books are getting kind of pricey on eBay. And after all, why rent when you can own? Let's take a quick look at each one of these inside or jump to the next set of comics right here in the chapter stops. All right, so here's the final issue. This is a self-contained story. We've got Stan Sakai's note here that he's moving over to Dark Horse Comics. Dark Horse published Space Usagi, his futuristic take on his character of Usagi Yojimbo in the future. And is this stuck together? These pages are stuck together. Not good. Did we get a little bit of sushi on these pages? What is going on here? Okay, I'm not going to open up these pages in case I need to talk to the seller. And I think these pages, yeah, all of these pages are stuck together. What? What do we have here? There's some tape. Some tape at the bottom. I may be able to simply untape these and we'll be okay. But what is going on here? Yeah, I'm going to have to deal with this later. We'll see what happens with that. Anyway, yeah, there's also a backup story about Steltzer's comic over here. So it's the final issue of Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo at Mirage Comics. Let's see if these aren't in bad condition. Hopefully not. So these are definitely vintage bags, and these are the really cheap, I'm sure, acid-filled boards. So get these out of here. And what is the quality of the book? So this is a wraparound cover. What's her name again? Penelope. There's a lot of violence going on in this one. Watch out, Equine, you're about to get your head chopped off. What about the interior pages? So this is from Graph Express. They only publish 3 things: Equine, Morphs, and Red Shetland. And they've been long extinct, so can't wait to read this editorial. I always like independent publishers' editorials. Very cheap newsprint, yellowed with age. Interior art is amazing. I really like the series. This interior art is so detailed. Whoa, watch out, Equine. So detailed. Don't worry, he's not dead. There's a few more issues left in the series. And expressions are cool, cool sound effects, cool panel layout. And yeah, this seems to be in good condition. Overall, lots of adventure. Let's look at this one, much cartoonier cover over here compared to this more realistic one. On the back cover, we have the creators, Jim Grote and Richard Conkle, out in the desert with their VW Bug. So this is issue number 5. This will obviously reveal that Equine made it out alive, no problem. And some info here. Remember these distributors, Bud Plant, Capital City, etc. So lots of cool art and characters. This is such detailed art. I really like it. This is part of the black and white explosion that happened in the 80s. And there was a lot of bad black and white comics back in the day, as the old timers will attest to. I've seen plenty of it as well. But this is some really good black and white art from back in the day. Very detailed. You can tell what's going on. Hey, there's Red Shetland. And it's very detailed and action-packed, but you can still tell what the characters are. I've seen some really bad black and white work that is just ink dripping off of the pages and you can't tell anything that's going on. I want a Red Shetland t-shirt. What about you? So yeah, these are in amazing condition, and as I said, people on eBay are trying to sell these for like 10 times what I paid for them. And this one seems to be less common out there as well. Now, I gotta see what's going on with that, like, glue that's on the bottom of these, if I can take it off or just get another copy of it. I don't know, what should I do? Tell me in the comments. Should I just get a refund out of this right away or take the glue off myself? Well, moving on to the next package. Here's the next package. It's kind of taped up in a lot of spots, so let's try to open this up. Alright, that wasn't too complicated. What about the inner package? Okay, they've got it here with the heavy tape, which locks it down for travel very easily, but then it's a little harder to open up, but okay. Oh yeah, we got some Space Usagi, issue 1 of 3 and 3 of 3, so I just need an issue 2 of 3 at an affordable price. Now this is the aforementioned Dark Horse. This is volume 3 of Space Usagi. Space Usagi was over at Mirage for volume 1, volume 2. This is not Usagi Yojimbo. This is his descendant in space. And then as the comic industry was imploding, Stan wanted to keep his comic continued to be published, of course. So he reached out to the more financially solvent Dark Horse Comics and set up a test run of sorts. This came out at the same time that the Mirage book, that issue 16 over there, was coming out. So that went well. This was a return to black and white. Some people loved, some people didn't love the look at color when it went into Mirage. And so this is volume 3 after the first 2 volumes at Mirage. Usagi of the Future. Let's browse these pages a bit or jump to the next package. Now the Space Usagi comics are starting to get a little pricey because of the brand new Usagi Yojimbo Netflix series, which is actually the descendant of Usagi Yojimbo. So it's not exactly Space Usagi, but collectors will jump on anything, and I'm all for it. So let's look at this. Issue number 1. This is the return to black and white after Usagi went into full color, like I said. So volume 1 and 2 are in color. Volume 3 goes back to black and white. And I was reading the letters pages of those color Usagi books at Mirage, and there was mixed opinions about, please go back to black and white. Oh, I don't like color. It's too weird. And so he did return to black and white. It's interesting then. Well, it took 20 years because then when they went back to complete black and white in IDW, he was Stan Sakai did his black and white thing for several years until, like I said, 2017. Then he went to IDW and it went to full color again. Now this is not newsprint quality, but it is matte black and white newsprint, regular paper, and the action is amazing, very cool panel layouts, sound effects, so much action mixing samurai stuff, ancient Japan with future Japan. That was a mashup for the ages. Sex, cud, and rock and roll. Don't miss Terry Laban's Grayson, the West Cud Christmas Tour 95. Yeah, you had to be there. So I like looking at these old ads. Oh, there's Bruce Timm, The Mask. He's only doing covers and not interiors. Indiana Jones and the Sargasso Pirates. The only thing stinks worse than pirates is death. Sure. And here's the finish line. January checklist. Always like checking those out. And the cool Usagi logo. So ready to get spoiled for issue number 3? I'm going to spoil myself too, because I need issue number 2, but we will see the epic conclusion here. I'll see this in more detail a little bit later. He looks so tough right there, doesn't he? And this is so 90s. Look at these Photoshop effects over here. You just make one and then copy and paste it all over the place. When people learn Photoshop, they really apply what they learn. This is some cool designs. I don't doubt that Stan took some of these concepts later on for when he did Sensho. Is it Sensho or Sensol? I think it's Sensol, which was a 7-part epic where aliens, it's basically War of the Worlds in the original Usagi timeline. Look at that cybernetic eye and everything. And some of these things are very reminiscent of that. That was one of his many magnum opuses. Grass Cutter was an early magnum opus. But then we also had Sensol, where it was aliens invading ancient Japan. Now, I don't want to spoil myself, so I'll just jump to the very end. Oh, this is when Dark Horse was doing Godzilla comics. The King of the Monsters is about to destroy history in Godzilla 9-12, written by Alex Cox, director of Repo Man, and covers by Bob Enkleton, art by Brandon McKinney and Andrew Peepoy. Andrew Peepoy, he does some cool Archie art nowadays. Here's the 1986 Comic Buyer's Guide Fan Awards. Those were the days. And then we've got the back covers right here in different colors. I'm sure there were t-shirts of this, and I would love to have this on a t-shirt. A nice blue t-shirt with white. This doesn't quite work. Tom Luth, what are you doing? He's usually the colorist. This looks great, the white on blue, but the blue on magenta, that's graphic design no-no right there. They should have kept it white and magenta. White and blue, white and magenta would have looked nice. Hey, maybe if this is cyan, magenta, maybe we got yellow for number 2. When I get number 2, I will confirm. So here is Space Usagi, Volume 3, number 1 and 3. That's so photoshopped right there. So that was my recent eBay comic haul. I just wanted to share some comics that I got. Hope you like them. What do you think? Is there anything that you like in here? What are you on the lookout for? There's nothing like big money in here, but part of what comic collecting and reading is all about is reading and collecting comics. However you choose to do it, whether they're first appearances, first issues, newsstand variants, gimmick covers, furry comics, action comics, black and white comics, color comics, modern age, bronze age, golden age, everything in between. Tell me about what kind of comics you like to get. What's been your recent eBay hauls? Tell me about it in the comments. If you like my content, consider pressing the join button right here on YouTube or on Patreon to become part of the VMC crew and unlock exclusive stuff. Or just to show your support, I would really appreciate it. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, do all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in the next comic haul.